My name is Gage Morrow, and I had the opportunity to do my internship at the Southwestern Oklahoma State University Strength and Conditioning Center. So, SWOSU Strength Center is known as one of the best Division II strength centers in Oklahoma and even around the nation. In our strength center, it's a very big room. We just recently had it renovated by some amazing donors and alumni. We've got 14 full power racks. We have 2 full sets of dumbbells up to 100 pounds, and then 1 more dumbbell set halfway to 50 pounds. We have a full cable machine with both sides, a lat pull down and a row machine. We also have 4 neck machines that we use for football players. This is vitally important to football players. This is something that they can do to train their upper traps, their neck muscles, so whenever they take big hits on the football field or deliver big hits, it's less trauma on the head, less trauma on the neck and the spine. We have full sets of resistance bands, orange being the lightest and black being the heaviest. These are extremely important in a lot of the training we do. It builds power, builds strength through alternating resistances. As the lift goes down, resistance gets lower. As you press or go up in the lift, resistance gets higher. We also have a full set of chains that we use. Same concept, just a different method. As far as barbells, we use a lot of Texas power bars and road fitness bars. The Texas power bars have a lot better knurling, which is the grip for heavy deadlifts, big squats. We also have 3 different kinds of sleds to push or pull weight with. You use these a lot with a lot of the bigger boys, the linemen, to build a lot of power, to get a lot of pushing power. One of the coolest things that we have are the row boxes that we can use for jumps, or we can use for depth drops. I mean, whatever we use. Reverse hyperextensions. Some other things that we have could be foam rollers. Coach Jackson and I have both made a huge statement how important it is to come into the weight room before workouts and foam roll, and to foam roll after workouts. This rolls the muscle out without actually stretching the muscle. Then we also have 14 trap bars, 1 trap bar per power rack. Then we also have a full leg press and a leg curl and extension machine. So as an intern at the S.W.O.S.U Strength and Conditioning Center, one of my biggest responsibilities was cleaning. Now, you may think this is the dirty work, this is what the janitor's supposed to do, but this included wiping down the benches, vacuuming the floor, mopping the floor throughout the month, and realigning different weights. With how many athletes we pass through each semester, it's extremely and vitally important that we keep the weight room clean. That way so there's not different kinds of sicknesses and airborne viruses to flow through and get the athletes sick. We want the athletes to be as healthy as they can be throughout their season and off season. Some of the other things I got to do that I had a good time with was program supervision. Now, throughout the semester, Coach Jackson and I would design programs for these athletes and for teams. During season, the program would slightly vary a little bit, as in off season. Another great thing about program supervision was being able to work with each athlete individually, whether this was coaching on form or coaching on technique, or simply just providing a tip that would say, hey, get your glutes firing, push those hips through on deadlifts. Just little things that truly help the athlete get the most out of a workout. One of my favorite things personally was being able to input different ideas. With Coach Jackson, he's such a great guy. He would take different methods, different ideas from all over the world, different kinds of coaching strategies and strength strategies. So me coming into this, having prior knowledge, was great for me to be able to input my own knowledge into powerlifting. More things I had to do I had the opportunity to do as an intern was being able to hold down hours when Jackson was not around. He's a very busy man. And another important thing I had to do was doing a lot of learning. So one of the greatest things about being an intern is you learn so much more than you thought you knew. Another great thing was self-learning. And I think this is one of the greatest ways. Someone who I look up to a lot once said that education can get you a job, but self-learning will make you millions. Famous quote by Mark Bell, who is a very famous powerlifter, who taught himself a lot of the methods he uses with different athletes. Some other things I got to do while I was in the strength center, whether Jackson was around or not, was writing workouts for different athletes. Athletes will come in and they'll say, hey coach, can I get a workout for today? Of course this is during the off season, so they don't have scheduled programs, and so I would write them a workout. And another thing that was my responsibility, that I did this on my own, was to keep a fact-based approach and not a personal knowledge approach. I may know a lot that works for me, but that doesn't mean it's going to work for the next guy. My special project involved directing a video database to athletes who would go home for the summer or over break. This allows easy access to instruction, gives a wide variety of exercises for athletes with limited gym access. It's based on different planes of motion for push and pull exercises, and allows every athlete to be able to access on their phone from their house. Now I have a link on here, but I don't know whether or not it will work. But basically, it consists of an upper body, a lower body, and a core workout, or a core workout database. So for upper body, we divided it into horizontal and vertical push, arm training, horizontal and vertical pull, and shoulder and trap accessories. Now if you look right over here, I have a grid that I had written up that gives you different variations of horizontal and vertical pushes. So whether that be bench press, dumbbell bench press, push-ups, or military press. And then we have arm training variations, whether that be tricep or bicep. Horizontal vertical pull variations, with just pull horizontally or with just pull vertically. And then we have shoulder and trap accessory variations that can be posterior or anterior. With the lower body, we have squat variation and posterior chain and or hip dominant variations. During this, we have primary and accessory movements. Your primary movements are going to be your big hits: your squat, your front squat, your box squat, your barbell deadlift, track bar deadlift, sumo deadlifts. These are all the things that you're going to incorporate doing strength, so 5 sets of 3, 6 sets of 2, whatever that may be to build strength. And then you have your accessories that you have to do throughout the season, so your back squat doesn't plateau. That way so you can continue building strength, continue getting that extra power throughout the season. Then we also have unilateral variations, which train both, whether that be walking lunges or reverse lunges, or rear foot elevated split squats. And then we have core workouts. We have trunk flexion, which is such as a simple crunch, stabilization, which is being able to hold your core at a certain point for a certain amount of time, and rotations, which will train your obliques. The purpose of this entire project was to give athletes a wide variety of exercises, so when they go home and they go to their local gym, they're able to look at the things that they have, whether that be a bench press, a squat rack, a Smith machine, and take our video database and just pick and choose what they want to do based on what they want to train. So, in preparation for my internship, some of the biggest points that I took out of it was being ready to do stuff that you really don't want to do. I was coming into this internship ready to coach people one-on-one, ready to coach athletes and say, hey, I want you to do this. But that's not how you start. As an intern, I had to learn that it was my job to sit back and watch how Coach Jackson runs the show. Someone who's been doing this for many more years than I have. Whether that be cleaning or just simply watching athletes, making sure they're not doing anything wrong. Another thing was to be prepared for stuff to happen. Stuff happens. And so my job was to be ready for that, whether that be an injury, whether that be me having to run across campus to go do something for Coach Jackson. I had to be ready for that kind of stuff, even though it wasn't on my schedule. And the last thing was, it's not that hard. I came into this with learning goals and a project, and I thought there's no way I'm going to get all this done. But it really was not that hard. I sat down, I focused, I talked to Coach Jackson, he helped me through it. I talked to my fellow classmates that were also doing an internship, and it was much easier than I thought it would be. As for me and my future plans, next semester I'll be working on my master's degree in sports management, and I'll be a GA for Coach Jackson. Where in that responsibility, I'll be doing a lot more involvement with the athletes, hopefully doing my own programs. I want to further my own career, whether that be bodybuilding or powerlifting, I want to compete sometime soon, and so throughout this internship, throughout this GA position, I hope to be able to also work on myself while also contributing to the SWOSU strength program as a whole. One thing I do want to do during the summer is be able to coach powerlifting programs. I've had a few coaches come up to me during my time at Hobart with the Hobart football team from other schools saying, hey, we want to start a powerlifting program, would you be willing to help? And I would love to. I also want to work on getting my certification. I want to work on getting my certification in the USPA, which is U.S. Powerlifting Association. And then as far as future plans beyond that, I possibly would enjoy coaching at a Division II school. Whether that can come true or not, we don't know yet, but I'll look forward to it. As far as my insights, things that I would take forward and give to the next person doing an internship was that you've got to love it, you've got to live it, and you've got to enjoy it. The reason why I describe this into 3 different categories is because you've got to love what you do. You can't just walk into this setting and be iffy because you're going to hate it. You're just absolutely going to be bored, you're not going to enjoy what you're doing, and then you've got to live it. One of my biggest pet peeves is someone who simply wants to sit on the sideline, learn the knowledge, but not practice the knowledge. If you want to be successful in this realm, you've got to get out there and do it yourself. And you've got to let people see that you can do it yourself before you can coach them to. And then you've just got to enjoy it. You've got to have fun. If you don't come out here and have fun, you're just going to get tired of it. You're going to get bored. And just to reinstate, you've got to be prepared to do the dirty work before you can have some fun. You've got to be on time, ready to go to work. Whether your boss is lenient or not, wherever time he tells you to show up, you be there, you be ready to go after it. And then, lastly, you've got to get the most out of the experience. One of the biggest things I think that I took out of this was being able to learn so much from someone who knows much more than I do. Just because you think you know something, you don't know it all. So get a chance to know the person that runs it, get a chance to know the person that works beside you, learn what they know, continue to learn and grow in everything you do. That's all. Thank you.